join us today from Supercar Driver HQ. Welcome to the channel. We're here to speak more to the community, aren't we?
That we are.
We want to share with you some of our highlights from our events, our tours, particularly today our European tours, which all three of us have been on.
Just once or twice.
Yeah, you've done a few, haven't you?
I think I've done them all.
So anyway, just for the purpose of this, I'm Adam.
I'm Jonty.
And I'm Paul.
I really want to focus on the joy of driving your supercar abroad. I just feel like that's a bucket list thing. Taking your car, or taking any car, it doesn't have to be a supercar, but taking your car to Europe is bucket list stuff.
100%.
Obviously, we're quite fortunate enough to do that a lot. Like we've all done 4 tours this year and led on them.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to take that for granted. So I wanted to sit here at the end of the year and reflect. We want to sort of talk about some of our favourite memories. We want to have a little bit of a chat about 2025, some of the things we got in store, some of the things we want to do in the future as well.
Yeah.
So beginning with the first one of the year, Spain. Totally new tour for us.
First time in Spain.
And
Absolutely.
yeah. And we'd not touched on that. I don't know why. We'd sort of been wanting to for a few years. And it was a different tour. I'd say that all 4 in the calendar this year were all very different in their own way.
Yeah.
And Spain was a new sort of idea of how a tour could be. It was definitely more mileage intensive than some of the others. There was 1,000 miles on that tour.
When was it? Was that in April? Was it April?
That was April, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So that was a nice thing, because normally we don't kick off the calendar till June or till...
Yeah,
Makes it a very long winter, doesn't it?
Alps and Dolomites, you just can't get there in a supercar. It's just covered in snow. So a lot of the roads are all closed. So it's nice to go somewhere that's warm.
I must admit, I didn't know what to expect with Spain.
Yeah, I felt the same.
But I don't know about you, but when you look back to Spain, you think back to Spain now, I have some of my favourite memories of the year. And it's not even because the driving was particularly more epic than others. It was just the combination of things. And
it just feels very memorable, doesn't it? There were so many things that, probably because we've not been there before.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all very new, and you didn't know what to expect, and the roads were way better than we ever imagined.
Yeah. The very supercar friendly roads. I think in some of the other places you have to make do with certain sections that you think, this is more a sports car road than a supercar road, just to get in between the really, really good stuff. That was all supercar friendly.
It felt the entire way through. It felt absolutely just constant flow.
I mean, imagine being told to bring a yellow F40 on Spain, being like, please bring my yellow F40 on Spain.
I think
I'd love that. And then
the way that went is he said, I'd like to bring my F40 on Spain. Would you say that it's a good idea? And I thought it was.
8-year-old Jonty thought, bring my F40
Yeah, that's
Spain.
a great idea.
So anyway, for Charles, it probably wasn't the best tour in terms of, but bless him.
He got a workout that week.
He certainly did. He certainly did
that much of a workout, he ran out of fuel. He was working that hard.
He still enjoyed himself, didn't he?
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
It.
Yeah, they were supercar friendly roads. They probably weren't F40 friendly roads.
Yeah.
But
well, didn't he switch the car halfway through?
Yeah, he did. He had always planned on that. So he had a backup. He had a Spider.
So that was pretty impressive. But I don't know. I think obviously midway through the tour we went to Benidorm.
We did, didn't we? Yeah.
Right, can I just say that wasn't in the itinerary, and I hate veering from the itinerary, because when you veer from the itinerary, stuff goes wrong. Stuff goes wrong. Because I don't know what to do about it, because I've not recce'd that bit. I don't know how you get in and out of Benidorm.
Well, luckily Mad Dog knows. So
Mad Dog knows. Mad Dog knows everything.
Yeah. And then there was that guy who was obviously a native in Benidorm, running up and down the streets.
What, Sam Mucklow?
No, the other one, the other native in... Not Steve.
No, not Steve.
No, the other native in Benidorm, running up and down the streets and making us all frightening the life out of us with a whole host of supercars.
Yeah, so suddenly it felt a bit sketchy, actually.
Yeah,
the mood started changing, and then when you've got Lamborghini Mad Dog getting on radio saying, I think we should go now.
Let's get out of
you
here.
really should go, because if he's in
when
doubt...
Mad Dog's scared, we're all scared.
So that was short-lived, but it turned out all right in the end.
Yeah, it certainly did.
It was different.
It certainly
Never again.
No, absolutely.
It's funny because actually on the tour there was a fair bit of just hassle with police. Not anything like drastic, nothing huge, no big speeding fines or anything like that. But there was The police were just making us feel a little bit uncomfortable, weren't they?
Yeah.
Not uncomfortable, but not very welcome.
Yeah, they were there every now and again.
Yeah, and they kept popping up, like you left a fuel station, and then they decided to just pull my whole group over.
Yeah.
Actually, no fines, but show us all of your documents, and just waste a bit of time.
Me and Jonathan got pulled just driving to fuel. I'm thinking, well, I've done nothing wrong. Why has he pulled me? And he comes over, and it was because, and it's a stupid law, and even one of the people on the tour spoke to someone high up in the Spanish police, and they said, it's a stupid law. Bluetooth earpieces, illegal. What's that about?
I find that so strange, so strange. How is having a Bluetooth earpiece worse than...
Exactly.
But you just got fined, didn't you? You just got fined.
Yeah. But €100 fine for wearing an earpiece.
Yeah.
I got pulled over as well, and in Charles's car, and just from being parked on the side of the road.
Yes, you did.
So I was pulled on the side of the road.
Wrong time.
There were a number of fines. None of them were for speeding or actual driving offences.
Not that we speed, but
not that we do speed. No, but just for things that were silly, like for being parked.
Yeah.
Like just on a corner or something. But I think that tour was memorable. At the time, I didn't appreciate it as much until I got home, and then a couple of months later, and then you do say the next tour Dolomites, and you look back to Spain and go, actually that was lovely. And then obviously
just completely different. I think that was the key.
The weather was nice at that time of year. The locals were friendly. The roads, when you get away from the coast, how deserted Spain is. Like, there was no one around, nothing around.
Why is there so many great, like beautifully made roads that no one ever drives on?
I know, it's crazy.
Thank goodness.
It's great for us.
But that was only sort of, well, not going to go into details, but starting in Valencia, ended sort of Marbella way. We've still got so much Spain to go and explore.
We've done such a small portion of it and loved it. Then Dolomites, I suppose.
I guess this year we weren't as lucky with the weather as what we've usually been.
No, it worked against us, didn't it? I mean, Spain was fine. Spain was great.
No issues at all with
weather in Spain.
And if anything, it was nice to get away, have a bit of warmth for a week, and then you got back to the UK and it was freezing. So it was really nice to actually enjoy that.
Dolomites was chaos because it was the week before Secret Meet, which it wasn't meant to be because Secret Meet got moved. So that was
you
were under some pressure.
Yeah, pretty stressful week, and I shouldn't have gone really. But it's another one of those things. It's a bucket list thing. I couldn't not go. Really, it's what you need to do with your car.
What a beautiful place.
Obviously, it's a tour we've done a long time. We've done it for 7-8 years.
I think we did get, although we weren't as lucky with the weather this year, it wasn't bad all the time. I mean, the first days when we arrived in Italy, you're near Lake Garda, and it was glorious.
It was,
like through the daytime. It rained through the night, which is fine. Gets it out of the way. And also my favourite part of that tour, Sunset Drive.
Oh, the Sunset Drive is just. I think if you were limited, absolutely. If you were limited to just one drive on the tours, it's always that Sunset Drive. It's just incredible. That road all the way up to the top, and then we flow down the other side, and then loop back around.
And then you stop on the dam.
We have the big dam shot at night, and it's sort of the mountains in the distance have still got sun on them, but all the ones around you haven't. So it's sort of like the mountains that are nearby and the big lake that's there frame the mountains in the distance.
It's joyous,
beautiful.
It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it is. We were talking earlier, weren't we, about how small you feel when you're driving around the Dolomites.
Like
the mountains are so...
Yeah, you really do, don't you? You're a tiny dot on these.
And sometimes you're climbing, and sometimes you're just running through the valleys. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a bit busy that time of year, but you sacrifice the busyness for the weather.
And you absolutely know where you are, don't you? Because there's no mountain range anything like that anywhere in the world. They are very, very unique.
The way that they look, just the
very dramatic.
At the top. It's not just a peak.
No,
it's a peak with a bit jutting out of the top. It's hard to describe it really. But then we were very, very lucky on that tour, because usually the last pass that we do on the entire tour, Timošklock, it's one of those bucket list passes. It's quite well known.
Austria,
from Italy into Austria for the last leg. And I was getting a little bit nervous the day before we drove it, because on all the route maps and everything, it was still saying closed.
It was,
And we've never known that, because usually by the time we get there, at that time of year, it's lovely and sunny, and it's just, these patches of snow because, it's been end of the season and everything. And the road opened on the morning that we drove it, which was very lucky. And what was even more lucky is I think we stopped for lunch there about 1 o'clock, left an hour later. And I think probably half an hour after we left, there was a post that appeared on Instagram on the Timosglock page. The road has been closed again due to a rock strike.
Yeah.
So we must have had like an 8-hour window. And we were right towards the end of it that we managed to drive that bucket list road, and then it closed for another 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I remember driving up through just before we came through the toll pass, and there were just like shards of snow up either side of them. They were like 15 feet.
We've never seen that much snow.
It was
apart from when we did that Best of Italy tour in September 2017.
Yeah.
And we went through and we did. It was September. And it was snowy. And
there was snow at the side, but not to that level, was it? It was like you were just going through a big channel.
Absolutely amazing.
Of snow.
It's worth noting as well. I was just looking at some of the photos from Dolomites, and we've had some pretty epic cars on that one. There was Pagani Huayra Roadster.
There was
4-litre RS, CLK DTM cab, which is my kind of
you
love them things.
I just think they're the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And the fact
you had a blast around in that.
Yeah,
we got one of the first Rivaltos in the country.
And
then took it back out of the country.
Yeah.
So no, it was pretty special, wasn't it? But like you say, you look at that mountain range. It's just unlike any other tour we do.
There's nothing quite like it. And the hotels that we stay at on that tour are
and you're in Italy as well.
Utterly exquisite. Yeah,
in Italy, we love supercars generally.
You always get a good reception there. We didn't have a single bit of trouble from anyone. Every time you're driving through in a convoy of those cars through a village, everybody's happy to see you.
It's 100%.
It's so nice.
They're so welcoming, aren't they? They absolutely love to see supercars.
They encourage you to make a bit of noise.
Yeah.
Like, I think sometimes that's like other countries, less so.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like Italy for that.
No.
And I suppose just quickly, the format of that tour is 3 days driving, isn't it, in between?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like most of them are sort of that kind of 4 days, but it's pretty good.
You've got 2 half days and 2 full days.
So it's a little bit more relaxed certainly than the Spain tour was, that one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good partner tour, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. In contrast to that, then you go on to Alps.
Yeah. Well, the tour we said we're definitely not doing. We're definitely not doing the Alps
you
again.
started
There's
off.
no chance that we're doing. This is the last time we're doing the Alps. We've done it 10 times or 9 times.
I think I said to you, let's just see what we think. Let's do the tour first, because I've always loved the Alps, and I was a bit. I think that's a mistake. But
was that your first tour that you did, or was that?
It was.
It was your first.
It was our first tour as well, wasn't it? It was the original tour.
Yeah.
But I think when you start to go to other countries, you start to see what they can.
You start to appreciate others,
But you also get drawn into other countries that you want to go and see, and you think, okay, maybe the Alps isn't as good, and maybe the Dolomites is better. But actually, like you say, for raw,
you got out the car
driving
on the last day and said, we're doing this for every year for the
that,
rest of our lives, because
that last day is
fantastic tour.
The last day is relentless, but in the best possible way.
Oh, it's just the whole tour for me.
Give a little sort of synopsis of that then. Give us a little bit of highlights of where that tour starts. I mean, roughly, not specifically.
Yeah, I mean, like, so you're on Lake Annecy. It's beautiful. At that time of year, in September, the waters are still warm, so you can swim in the lake in front of the hotel. You're straight out the front of the hotel. Morning swim in a lake.
You better not go this much detail, because we'll still be here tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Then you've got your first day. It's a little bit shorter than the rest. That's the shortest of the 3 days. Sort of breaks you in, builds you up, and you do some semi-high mountain passes, but then you end the day on one of my favourite driving roads.
Which is?
The Petit Saint Bernardino.
Yes.
Which is...
that one.
And it was used on the start sequence of the Italian job with the Mura. The tunnel is on that very road. So we end in a hotel that's at the bottom of the Italian side, and that is one of those roads. It's beautifully surfaced and it's so technical. You've got so many different sorts of turns.
You get into the border and then the road becomes lovely and smooth. And silky tarmac.
I've driven that road so many times just because I love it that much.
Well, if I remember rightly, we got down to the bottom and everybody then checks into the hotel, and then we said to everyone, we're going to do a little bit of a route back up. Obviously, you don't all have to join us, but if you want to go back up to the top, then please do. And then we went out and everybody was there ready to go back up to the top again.
Everybody did it.
Yeah.
Then we move on back up that road again to get back over into France. And again,
it's just that day, the next day is just pass.
Right to the end. Then we stay Montgenèvre on the Italian border. And then you've got that very last day, and that is just the best passes. Again, Col d'Isard, that's one of my favourite passes as well.
And the highest paved road as well, we got that, haven't we?
Col de Bonnet, and that you get to the top of that one, and you literally do feel like you stood on the top of the world.
Yeah, you really do.
That is one of the only roads.
For a photo opportunity.
That last section, when you're going up to the summit of that pass, it's pretty much a vertical wall down from the very top of it, a little bit that juts out for the road, a little mound of dirt, and then a drop, and you can't see the bottom.
And it's like being on the moon, I've always tried.
It really is,
it's like this,
You're on the moon, but the next bit that you can see, if you look that way, is another mountain, which is like 10 miles over there.
Yeah. And it's breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking.
And we obviously, this tour was Porsche only.
We did,
Which we try and do something Porsche GT all the time every year, but this one was just like, where people who buy those cars want to drive them, their drivers' cars, what's the best tour? Well, the Alps. The Alps are the best.
It's an intense one. It works so well for those cars.
Yeah, it was.
They were built for the Alps.
I
think.
That last day is relentless, 7 hours.
Yeah, even when you get out of the Alps and into the French Riviera, you've still got some of the some fantastic technical sections of road, and then you pretty much finish it off with the road that's on the start sequence for GoldenEye with the F355 and DB5.
Oh, and Red Rock Road as well.
And Red Rock Road as well,
There's so many roads.
It is amazing.
That day, the last day, I sacked my group off, and I went into the middle of the pack, and I was following a few of the guys.
Weren't you?
You were
I was a member for the afternoon.
We called you worse things.
Yeah, exactly. I don't doubt it. And Ty in the RS came past me, and then I just followed him, and he was in the 3.8 RS, and it was just the most exciting thing. I've never appreciated that or experienced it from a member's perspective. Headset on, obviously listening to the comms of what's happening, and it's just, you feel like you've not even closed your eyes. You feel like you need your eyes are wide open because you feel like if you blink, you're gonna miss something.
Miss it.
And it was just the most exciting, intense thing, and it's actually really cool to experience it as well from a member's perspective because of what's happening up front, and you've got total sort of trust in your lead drivers, and it's really nice to see how they experience it as well.
So we came through that Red Rock Road, and I'm not sure, 7 cars I think I had behind me. And we flowed through, and just as we entered it, there was a motorbike. So I jumped on the radio and says, unfortunately, guys, there's a motorbike in front. And he pulled straight over for us. And then we just went all the way through it, didn't see another car from start to finish. And oh my God, everybody was on the radio at the end of it. That was the most amazing route we've ever done. It was just...
It is unlike anything, isn't it, Red Rock Road?
It is, absolutely it is, You've got those, your red and blue signs saying, don't go on this road, go through this road splits. And
then you go through some tunnels and they're 2-lane and they're wide. And
You've really got to have your wits about you on that road. And then you go into a tunnel, suddenly you can't see anything because it's too dark. Then you get out the other side and it's too bright, so you can't see anything. And there's a 90-degree right-hand bend.
Absolutely.
You've got to be prepared for everything.
And then, year on year, I've come through there every single time we do it, and I get to the other side, and then the tour finishes, and we get the video presented to us and a load of photographs. And I look at these photos and these videos and think, where were they? How on earth did they get that shot? Because I've looked and I've tried to find them. I cannot see that.
You had the POV glasses on, didn't you? The meta glasses, and you actually looked back and found Riyadh.
Found out where they were.
He's literally like stood on.
He's a mountain goat.
Sprawled out on this like rock face.
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
That video they did, which you'll probably see in this podcast, is absolutely unreal. Absolutely mega. But and that tour. crucially ends in Monaco, which is again one of those things that kind of everyone needs to go and do.
It's a bucket place.
Like we still take it for granted.
Place.
Well, we do take it for granted, but actually so many members want to go and do that.
Yeah,
It's cool.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely.
There's just something about it. So.
Yeah. Great way to finish.
Go and drive the F1 circuit as well.
Yeah.
Just things like that. You're just there in the right place. And
or if you're more into your fitness like I was, I walked the F1 circuit.
Or you went to the gym with Robbie Williams, didn't you?
I did, yeah. My mate Robbie, me and him did a bit of a training session.
Robbie Williams
together,
just happened to be there.
That's pretty cool.
Loves me. Yeah.
And then Croatia.
Finally, Croatia, yeah.
Croatia, yeah. Second time doing it.
Yep.
Again, completely unique. Nothing like anywhere else that we've done.
Nothing like it. I think it's the complete package, actually, isn't it?
I think it probably is, yeah. I think some of the others focus, I was going to say too much, but more into one area, whereas Croatia just seems to be a perfect blend of all the best
of
bits.
Everything,
I feel like we walked away from that tour and we said that it was like everyone's sort of new favourite tour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a combination of so many positives, I think.
Mainly me driving a laugh.
I'm wondering when that we're going to get mentioned. That.
Yeah. You drove a laugh?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I'll say.
What was that like?
Never knew.
Yeah, it was all right, you know. Gary wanted me to move his car for him, so did that.
I will admit, there was
6 miles.
there was a point on that tour, and it was just as it happens, the point when you were driving the laugh, because you were leading in the laugh.
Oh yeah, that's insane.
We'd arranged it because we wanted to get a really nice, cool shot. There's a section on the coastal road which is just spectacular. Like
absolutely
the views, that's my favourite part of that tour.
Yeah.
Because it's too good to be true. The roads are perfect. They're so smooth. They're really twisty.
They're well sighted.
And the view that you've got all the time. There's like clear blue sea and everything.
Yeah.
So we'd bunched up all 3 packs. And you were in front in the laugh. I was tagged onto the. Not going there, are we?
Sorry, Adam.
Carry on. We don't have any competitions at all. You're in the front with your group. I latched onto the back of your group. I was still doing radio comms for my group, but I got another radio tuned into your channel so I could get a heads up on any hazards, and you were behind me.
This is a bit like when you're on the radio telling a really long story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do I talk too much?
Do you?
Yeah,
but I could see all the cars in front, all the cars behind, and it was just one of those like pinch me moments of wow, this is insane.
Yeah. I mean, I always
all
say,
of that together.
How lucky are we? It's a phrase I say at the end of every tour,
but I mean that's cool. But what about the forest road?
Oh,
like it's full of peril, by the way.
Yeah.
There's lots of like you're coming in out of the trees and the sun's in your face and there's a right hand turn and it's actually relentless, that road.
It's so challenging.
It's not a passenger road.
So
a passenger would need to go on the partner bus and get chauffeured to the hotel probably. But that is a driver's.
How long does it actually last? That
it feels like
is it about an hour?
Yeah, it feels
I think it's about an hour and a half. I mean,
really?
it's literally like a racetrack, isn't it?
But it just feels never ending.
So it's a part of that road is actually a hill climb. You can see the curbs.
Yeah,
and
you can.
I did a bit of research on it.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be intense, but that's for a mile.
Yeah.
But we do about 40 or maybe more. And
you're definitely ready for a coffee by that hour and a half. Like passengers are ready to run away.
There's no straights on it.
No, you're right. Well, when we came out of there, we just came round a corner and it just started to flow out and settle down. And I did my usual, jumping on the radio saying how amazing was that. We came round this corner and there was a horse and a foal just crossing across the road and walked across. You can't paint this.
And then,
you cannot paint it.
And then you go a bit further down that road and then it opens up to the coast again, doesn't it? You're coming down to the side and the sea's there and it's unbelievable. And then there's obviously the locals were amazing. Do you remember all the schools you went past?
They love it, don't they?
Yeah,
they absolutely
they don't
love
see
it.
the cars enough, clearly. And they were loving that. And everywhere we stopped, people were loving it. The locals in every village you went past, they were... I was the last group,
welcoming.
So actually normally you're getting a bit of stick from someone because someone's made a bit too much noise or something, but everybody was out, all ages, waving.
Yeah, instead it just meant that there were more people to welcome you into the village.
It was a really pleasant thing, and the police were amazing. I mean, what about that story at the runway?
Oh, yeah. So there's a disused runway that I found on like the first recce. I'd seen it on Google Maps. I was like, I'll just go and see if you can get onto it. You have to go over to this little muddy bank, and it's a disused like war base.
Yeah.
They've
War
put
base.
some like bits of I don't know, like mounds of dirt on it to stop people doing a VMAX run. It'd just be dangerous. But the far
Basically
end
just
of
gave
it,
you a chicane to go around
well,
instead.
yeah, exactly. It just makes it into more of a track.
Yeah.
But the last end, you have got a decent straight, and then the place where the jets would have turned round, and clearly lots of people have had the same idea. It's a big donut in space.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were doing donuts. There were some others having some short, like quarter-mile drag races, just having fun. Next thing, police car turns up. I'm mid-donut, you were mid-race.
Yeah.
So with John.
It's funny it's called a runway because I ran away.
Yeah, we all did. Everybody, oh no, police are here, quick, jumping cars and everything. And we're just like, and so the police car comes to the end, turns round, and he follows all the cars, and then he picked on Toby in the McLaren. Put blues on when we're just about to climb over that little bit of dirt.
I didn't realise he put blues on.
Yeah, he put blues on, pulls him over in this like weird war base, gets out and says, it says to him like, why are you leaving?
Don't go.
Like,
Yeah, don't
and he
go.
just said like, because we felt like we probably shouldn't have been here. It's like, no, we just come to watch. Like, why are you
I
going?
heard he just said that if someone makes a complaint, he has to do something about it. But he's
Yeah.
happy just to watch.
Yeah,
And
no
it
one
was
had
like
made a
amazing.
complaint.
You what?
Amazing.
And what about that? But when we were near Bosnia, we were all in like so remote, weren't we, on the Bosnian border basically, and the police came where they pulled you that time when you were
Yeah,
recce,
yeah, on
and they
recce,
pulled
yeah.
and they pulled him with the oh god, here we go, and then they let everyone through and then stopped the Storato. And then 5 minutes later, the Storato owner is having photos of the police in the car, and they just want to see the car.
Because that was his favourite car.
Yeah.
That's why he just
That's
stopped
right,
him
yeah.
right at the end.
Yeah.
So that was amazing, and it's just a beautiful place. Like
Yeah,
you know
it
where
is,
we
yeah.
where we start that Start Hotel and that the bay and everything. How beautiful that is. I mean,
Yeah.
you could go there for a holiday on its own
Absolutely.
and not
Yeah,
do any
yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
But
It's a very underrated place, isn't it, Croatia?
yeah,
It's
It's slowly getting more and more noticed, I think.
yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get too noticed because it'll make it busy,
Yeah.
which is not good for us. But
No.
we go out of season anyway, so I think it's, it's right sort of time.
yeah.
And again, the weather. I just remember the second hotel that we stopped at when we'd done the relentless twisty road.
You need to get in the sea.
And well, we did, but you arrive. The girls that work for us, they got the welcome drinks ready, so you turn up. And again, the hotel's designed that it's got this frame of the sea in the background.
Yeah.
It was getting late by that point. The sun's setting. We went and had a little swim in the sea, which was still warm. We'd had a glass of champagne on arrival and everything, and it's just like,
We've made it.
what a day.
Yeah.
That is another thing that's quite special about that. Every hotel ends by the sea, and you've constantly got that theme running through, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think you've got some of the tighter, twistier roads, and then followed by these long, sort of sweeping roads. It's just.
I mean, there's like 3 mile straights as well,
Yeah,
isn't there?
yeah, there
There's
is,
sort of
yeah.
a bit of everything.
Yeah,
you feel
yeah.
like you're just going to be having a day where it's kind of quite smooth and fast and flowing, and then you suddenly go up to that mountain road and you're going over here, and it's just like, wow, the amount of variety you get is.
One thing that I really love, because I can't say that it's something that's actually for the tour, because that's my job. But is
Oh, is it?
You actually have
a job. You've got a job.
So I can't say that it's the fantastic roads that I find or the hotels or
I'll find them
whatever.
on the internet.
Is within just after the first day of driving, everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
Everybody is just.
It's a real
we
mix,
sort of
isn't
all
it? Yeah,
bond
it's
on
a
the road.
blend,
People have come together. No one knows each other. There might be like some friend groups that have come back from meeting on tours before, and then by the end of it, there's just such a nice big group of friends.
I think that echoes all the way through all the tours.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
all
That
of them,
we've
like
got- we've
UK
got-
and European tours.
We're very lucky to have that. Is that you don't find cliques or anything like that.
No.
It's very much
Like
just
sort of
a
camaraderie.
whole group of people that love cars, love driving, love being part of.
To be fair, I
what
think
it
that
is we
goes
do.
for the whole club.
Yeah.
It's not a club.
Certainly.
Whether you're going to go
certainly.
if you're going to go to a breakfast meet, you kind of get there and everyone's like-minded, and you do that.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. It's heightened because on a tour you're with each other for a week, basically.
Yeah.
So you kind of build even closer friendships and
Yeah.
etc. But I've noticed that
Yeah.
across the board. It's all about the people, isn't it?
There's groups of friends that formed on one of the early Devon tours, And then they always did the Devon tour. We've just launched a new Devon tour as well, actually. And then, you know, then there were some people that did the Scotland Highland Hoon.
Yeah.
And those got to know the people on the Devon tour. So we always did the Highland Hoon together. And then there was another group that came on the Highland Hoon. And I sort of got to know those really well. And then this other group that Jake then led all bonded with Jake. So then the following year, it was pretty much all the same people on the Highland Hoon, and I got my group, and Jake had got his group, and then you know, they'd speak to each other. But it's just like let's go with a group of friends to Scotland.
So what tours you got coming up next year, Jonty?
Oh well, so we're doing Spain again, obviously. But before Spain, we're doing
me
something.
and you. We are.
What?
Are you coming on that?
I hope so.
I don't think we need you now, do we?
No. Yeah, we're doing Ice Drive, Paul.
Yeah.
Me and you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're going to Sweden.
Yep.
Somebody needs to run it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll box that
No,
off.
Ice Drive Sweden are running that. So.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
I know, but I need to oversee it.
Yeah,
So,
we'll FaceTime you.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm coming regardless. Yeah,
Quite right.
something that I've wanted to do forever
So excited about that.
is
So
ice driving, and you can do it in winter.
And skidooing and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But ice driving, yeah.
I think there's like 2 places left on that.
There is, yeah.
But now.
Yep.
Yeah. We can just squeeze 2 more people on it, and it is. I'm really looking forward to that because we've got 2
You and me both.
full days on the ice.
Well, you haven't because you've got to work. So you've got to oversee what everyone else is doing.
I mean, we
Paul,
as in the people that
me and
are
Paul
on the
have
tour,
got to.
not you because you're there working as well.
No,
so
we're going as like a customer experience sort of thing.
Oh
so
yeah,
we know.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So no, you'll be working. So it's fine.
Well,
We'll
technically, I've not recce'd this tour, so I'm going to recce the tour on the tour.
Right.
So then I know how to
you
improve
are
it for
such a
next
blagger.
year.
Yeah.
And you know, tour manager, well, European tour manager. Then so it's only.
So we're going ice
right,
driving
really.
in
Yeah.
January.
We're ice driving in January. Can't wait for that. On behalf of everybody that's booked on, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Spain, that's slightly earlier. We're doing that at the end of March instead of the beginning of April.
I've got a feeling that's already sold out.
It's sold out. We added some more places. It's sold out, and then we've got a waiting list to sell it out again.
Yourself on the wait list.
Yeah. Always.
But you know,
Dolomites.
Dolomites. Well, so just to say, the Spain tour is different from last year. We have changed things because we always
you
like
always
to
do, yeah.
tweak things, make them better. We've got Dolomites back in June, slightly later in June, so hopefully weather will be slightly better, and to avoid clashing with Secret Meet because you ruined my calendar.
I did, but I'm pretty sure you'd like to be at Secret Meet, so
Well, yeah, I suppose.
that's the trade-off. I mean,
As long as I can drive something nice.
It's a little bit special. Isn't
just
it?
don't let it catch fire this time. But okay.
No comment. Then we've got the Alps back. Jake's running the Alps
He
because
certainly is.
I can't run that many tours because my head will fall off.
I think we'll talk about this at some point, but we want to do more in Europe,
Yeah.
and they've
Yeah.
only got a certain amount of resource, and it's
Yeah.
quite cool if Jake could learn the
Well,
Alps.
he's
He's been on it in the past. And, and he can-
He's done it in the
he
past.
can-
He's proved how good he is with the UK stuff as well. So it's
and he's listening, so we need to be especially.
Yeah, there is
especially-
it. Background.
I really
Yeah.
like Jake.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Are we saying this because we're trying to tee him up for him choosing his staff?
I'm teeing him up. I'm
Yeah.
teeing him up. Replacing you when you become too cocky. So
Right. Okay. Thanks.
So no.
When he
but-
becomes.
Is that why you suggested me foot luggage back then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think we just want to do a bit more in Europe, and
Yeah.
there's only so amount of the things that you can run. So yeah, Jake's doing Alps, and that's a great one for him to cut his teeth on, isn't it?
Croatia's back again. We've made some changes on that. Made it even better because we changed it from the first one, then we changed it again.
I think it's
so it'll be the third year.
It's nice to refine things anyway. You want to
Absolutely,
just
yeah,
improve,
yeah.
Not just improve it, but you want to just change it and mix it up.
Yeah.
You've got to be dynamic, haven't you? You've got
We've
to
got a
move
nice
with the times.
little boat trip coming up for dinner, which is something a bit different.
Yeah, very nice.
As long as it's not a sunset run with no sun, then I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, there was the sun there. It's just it was behind the clouds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then new for 2025 is in November, beginning of November. The Corsa Cavallino is back.
Well, back to Europe.
Well, back to Europe. Yeah,
it was in the UK this year.
Yeah,
it was.
We swap them around. So we do so we have the Porsche GT, which will be Europe, and then Corsa Cavallino is UK, and then this year swapping back around. So Porsche GT UK.
But Corsa Cav is going to be in Europe every year after this.
It is,
and it is going to be in the UK every year after this as well. So, because it is becoming its own thing, which you'll be able to hear a lot more about on the 1st of December when we launch it. But there's something quite exciting brewing.
That's a whole other podcast in itself.
Yeah,
I think,
it is. But yeah, we're back. We're doing Spain and Portugal, aren't we? So.
Yep. Started in Portugal. There's a fantastic place. I've been out and wrecked it. Obviously, tried all the food. Wine, they make their own wine.
I can't tell.
It's part of my job.
Yeah, camera.
Yeah, it's a fantastic venue that we've got a couple of nights at, and then we head to another venue. Am I allowed to say the really special bit?
No. But there's somewhere we're going that you can't go, that you can't hire, but we've been able to
tell people.
I know, but just give it till the 1st of December and then you can tell anyone you want, anything you want.
Yeah. It's good. It's going to be good.
No, it's going to be good. And there's only 18 cars, so quite limited on space, but obviously the point, of course, Cavallino for anyone else is just it's just for special edition Ferraris. So any of the F cars and any of the lightweights, V8s, V12s, and then we'd accept 60s Ferraris as well. They're cool.
I think there's certain 60s, maybe like special ones, like Daytona.
Yeah, the Icona series.
Monza and Daytona, you mean? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Crikey, yeah, they're amazing. I suppose one thing I want to know is, what was your favourite tour car?
I was going to ask that.
I think I might know what yours is. But, was yours? What was yours?
Really?
What was yours?
The Laugh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, did you drive a Laugh?
Did I?
I don't know.
Yeah. 100% a Laugh.
Because I drove a yellow F40 actually on Spain, and you drove a yellow Laugh on Croatia.
Yeah. What did you drive?
What did you drive?
Am I allowed to include in this the private tour that I ran?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Because that's.
But no. Going back to it, I think I would either be with the Laugh.
Yeah.
Or if I was allowed 3, which I get to being greedy, it'd be Jonathan's RS 4 litre. It's just epic.
And it's so good to see it on the road.
And to be fair to Jonathan, we didn't really mention it, but in Spain he drove it all the way down there, absolutely razzed it the whole way, and fair play to him.
What about Brian's STO with the police livery?
Of course, yeah.
That came in so useful, because I always remember this moment. I'll never forget this. We were on a road and it was a little bit too tight to get past. It was just slightly too narrow for two-way stuff, and there was a van in front and it would not get out of our way. So you think he's just holding us up for no reason. He's crawling along this road. So give him a little polite flash. Still not getting out. Still not noticed. Right, we'll wave Mad Dog through. Comes through, blues and twos on, straight over. next two vans and a car, straight over the entire.
Good lad. The
entire group came through.
But finally, mine would be the DTM.
Yeah. Oh, the DTM.
DTM.
I love that DTM. Well,
it's got Elliot's, isn't it?
But yeah, that DTM was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And I think that I've always loved them anyway, and I've always wanted one.
Glorious bit of kit that is. That's such an amazing car.
And it's like they've had that long time, and they use it, and it's like they're one of their tour cars, and so I know what you mean. I thought, but it's funny because a lot of people would just pass that car by and not even give it a second thought, and you think, I don't think they even made 75 of the cabs, and they've got seats in the back as well. The cabs, obviously, the coupes have got harnesses and nothing in there.
See, for me, mine is a very obvious choice. It's the Huayra Roadster.
Yeah.
So just think, it's got so much presence.
Yeah. Bare carbon.
Yeah.
In Italy.
Everywhere. Yeah. In Italy. Oh.
Yeah, there was some pretty special bits, weren't there?
Yeah, we were very lucky. And what about you?
F40.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I just said to Charles, could you, because that's the car I'd love to have one day, and I just said to Charles, could you take Suze out just to show her what this car's like, because I'd love her just to experience why I love it so much. He said, no, you take her out.
It's like, what an honour.
You what? And then he just said, he gave me the keys and just said, I'm not following you because I'm too worried. It's my baby, that car's my baby. I don't want to see anyone drive it by me. So, and then he took the GT3 out and did a few laps, and I did one lap of the area.
I ended up in an SLR, didn't I?
Yeah, you drove Elliot's SLR.
Yeah.
It was non-supercharged
The
version.
non-supercharged one because they weren't working right.
Yeah.
But it's not even, like I say, the special cars. There's just so many cool cars that come along. And
Yeah.
I still think more than anything, my favourite part of the tour is the people that are on it and just the way that they get into it.
We have such a laugh, don't we?
Yeah.
It's such a great
and
privilege
now
to do what we do.
You've obviously conceded that Paul's Group 1, you're Group 2, I'm Group 3, so I'm glad we've got that sorted.
It's more just that if I place myself in the middle of the groups, I can keep an eye on you both.
Yeah.
So
really, because I can't see you.
It's got some behind you.
Is it? Right, yeah.
Use your mirrors.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, usually holding me up.
I suppose that's a good way to close, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Signing off.
Are you sure I can't mention like Corsica half a one?
No, sorry.
Right.
Okay. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye for now.